What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. You know I got another banger for you. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Now, the Chicago Sky are coming off a big victory against one of the top teams in the WNBA, the Seattle Storm. Angel Reese and Chennedy Carter completely dominated this game, and it feels like to me this team is just a point guard away. They're a three-point shooter away. Yes, I know Marina Mabrey has been one of the better three-point shooters in the league. She's the top three-point threat on this squad. She's very streaky. Chennedy Carter, not a big three-point shooter. Neither Angel Reese, even though she did just go 2 for 2 for three. So it is getting there, but there's not a whole lot of three-point threats is my point. And we're also seeing that this team is really lacking a true point guard. I feel like they are a true point guard away from being elite contenders in this WNBA league. They're ahead of schedule right now, and we've seen them battle some of the top teams. They've won some games we didn't think that they possibly would win. They do have a brutal schedule left, though, in the second half of the season, but they've built confidence. And we've seen that this team plays hard. They mirror their coach, Teresa Witherspoon. Angel Reese has been sensational in that Rookie of the Year conversation. Looking at it, Camila Cardosa has continued to improve, and Chennedy Carter proves that she is a WNBA all-star level capable caliber of player. But I've got 3 moves in mind that I think would take this team to the next level. So I wanted to go ahead and get into it. Number 1, we mentioned the point guard. Someone that is a pass-first guard, can shoot the 3, but also matches the defensive scheme and intensity that Coach Witherspoon demands from her guards. One player that comes to mind, a rookie that is getting absolutely no burn barely, not even 3 minutes a game with the Seattle Storm, who they just beat, is Nika Mule. Imagine the Chicago Sky trading for Nika Mule. Now, I know the stats aren't blowing anybody away right now. On the year, Mule is averaging 0.6 rebounds, 0.1 assists, no steals, and she's still looking for her first professional bucket. She's only playing just 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes a game, though. But you remember her calling card at UConn. She's 6 foot. She can shoot the basketball from deep. She's a facilitator who I think would have been a very good role player, a complementary piece to that big 3 of Nguamake, Jewel Lloyd, as well as Scott Diggs. Like, I think that at her as a steady point guard presence, her defense brings another ability, kind of matching Horston. Like, you need guards that are gonna be role players, that are gonna do the dirty work, that are gonna be good role players. She can shoot it. She's a good playmaker as well, reads the floor well. She led UConn in assists last season. We know her calling cards. We know what she's bringing to the table. I think you trade her to the Fever where she could actually get some burn. Maybe she comes in as the backup point guard. Maybe she earns a starter role if she develops. Because her talent is being wasted right now, and it's sad to see. But I think she would fit in with the defensive intensity of this team. She's a lockdown defender on the perimeter. She can absolutely shoot the 3. She'd probably immediately be the second best three-point shooter on this team, providing just a floor spacer who could open up driving lanes so Camila Cardosa as well as Angel Reese can continue to get busy in the paint and teams don't start closing down and double teaming that. Now, I just think that it would be beneficial for them to have a guard with her skill set. Not saying that Mule is elite and will be a star, but I think her specific skill set fills an immediate need, of void right now with the Sky, because their biggest problem right now is the three-point shot. And once teams start doubling down and packing that paint, I'm not sure their style of play is going to be as effective as it was and it has been this season. Number 2, we're sticking with the point guards. If they can't trade for one, the best other place to get one, of course, the WNBA draft. Now, we'll have to wait and see what their pick situation is and if they make any moves around that time. But if they are able to trade up or finish terrible and get a draft pick early in the first round, Georgia Amore, the former Virginia Tech guard, one of the best point guards in the nation, could be the best college point guard in the nation next year, most efficient and just productive follows her coach after 4 strong years at Virginia Tech to Kentucky to rebuild, I should say, a program with Coach Kenny Brooks. I'm excited to see her compete in the SEC, a tougher conference, and I definitely think she has a chance to really, really up her draft stock. I still think she's a top 7 pick regardless, but when you talk about another player with more upside than Mule, who's probably going to be more productive depending on where she goes, but she can score the basketball from all 3 levels. She's elite in the pick and roll. This is a pick and roll league. She can shoot it with range. She can get to the cup. She can create in space. She's really good in transition, court vision, can really get players involved, man. She would be a dynamic playmaker for the Chicago Sky, adding to the backcourt of Mabry, Carter, Evans, DeShields, Lindsay's out there as well, Lizzie Allen. They have capable guards, but adding another player in the fold that is an elite playmaker, can dish the rock to all these scorers because they have talent on this roster, can take pressure off Chennedy Carter to where she's not always an ISO, can open up the floor for Carter to drive with shots, making it deep 3 shot making ability. Amore is a killer, and she had her best season last year with Virginia Tech. On the year, Amore averaged 18.8 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, and a career-high 6.8 assists. Also, she shot 41.2% from the field, 6.8 assists. That is letting you know she is dishing that rock, and I think her running with this group in transition would be extremely tough. She's also a capable defender as well, so I think she would benefit if they could trade up, if they do end up getting a pick that high, if they just totally collapse and they can grab Georgia Amore in the draft. I think that would be huge. I think she would definitely impact this roster as far as just helping the ball move more fluidly, having a lead guard that can create, that can facilitate. I think Amore would fit this system really, really well. Another point that I want to make too as well is the fact that the development of Angel Reese and Camila Cardosa will be the future of this franchise. If these two don't develop, this franchise will not succeed. I love that we're seeing from Angel Reese, she is just scratching the surface on her game. We know the biggest weakness has been the jump shot. They have to develop their young talent. Key number 3. Now, she came out last game against the Seattle Storm and hit 2 big 3-pointers, put a dagger in the Storm late in the game, and hit a long 2-pointer. She showed the mid-range. She's capable of getting it off the dribble, man. I don't know if people are ready to hear this, but Angel Reese has a lot of Dearica Hamby and Asia Wilson in her game. Just the ability to be athletic, to get it off the dribble. She is an exceptional passer as well. I don't think it'll be long before Angel Reese gets her first triple-double, but just the development of her game, she is just scratching the surface. If she can really make that jump shot a reliable asset to her offensive game to the point where defenses can't sag off her, she is going to be incredible. She's leading the league in rebounds already, and she's locked into this rookie race with Caitlin Clark. On the year, Reese is averaging 13.9 points per game and a league-leading 11.7 rebounds, almost 2 assists, and 1.4 steals a game as well. She started all 19 games playing 31 minutes, and she has truly gotten better with every game. She is coming off a 27-point performance against one of the best defensive front courts in the entire league, a team that leads the league in shot blocking. Angel Reese was out there cooking, and I love the shot-making ability. She was shooting threes with confidence out there. This is going to be a nightmare for opposing teams, but I think this is the next step in her development. I want to see her continue to be brutal, lethal in transition, beating other bigs down the floor. I think she's going to add the Euro. She's so good in transition. She long strides, covers a lot of ground, elite finisher, elite hands at the cup, soft touch. She can absolutely beat just about any big down the court, man, and she takes those outlet passes, those long full court passes, catches them in a stride, and is immediately, with great body control, ready to finish. So I'm excited to continue to see her development. Her being a franchise player, one of the best players in the league, is going to be pivotal for the success of the Chicago Sky. And then talking about untapped potential, man, they have to continue to develop Camila Cardosa. Both her and Angel Reese need a go-to move in the paint. I'm going to tell you that right now. But Cardosa has so much untapped potential at 6'7", Just the instincts and the mobility to be a league-leading shot blocker. She's been great on the board so far. She's missed a lot of layups, though. I think they got to work a little bit more on her elevation off the ground, her explosiveness, but she understands how to use her body to establish position and be dominant on the block when she needs to be. We've seen it in spurts in the WNBA. We've seen it in spurts so far. Like, after a slow first half, she finished with 8 points and 9 rebounds, or 9 points and 8 rebounds in the second half of that last game against Seattle. She's big, she's physical, she's mobile. They got to get her to go consistently finish around the cup, though, and she needs a go-to move. But she has probably the most untapped potential in this entire draft class. She has the potential to be a force on both ends, and it's only going to benefit her if Angel Reese can really open the floor with her jump shooting ability that we are now seeing on display. Now that they won't be on top of each other every time they're in the game together, I definitely see things opening up in the lane for Kamilla to go one-on-one and be more dominant as her career gets deeper into it. On the season, and she missed a few games, but she started 10 so far and is putting in 25.8 minutes per game. But we know she missed a few weeks, like 4 to 6 weeks. I think it was 6 weeks, dealing with that injury. But she's averaging 8.4 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. Almost a block per game with 0.2 steals on that margin as well. She's getting 4.4 defensive rebounds, so you love that she's helping to limit teams to 1 shot per game. But she's just scratching the surface. They need to develop her post moves, the footwork. I need her working with Elijah Wan. I need her working with Tamika Catchings. I need her working with somebody, a specialist, to get that footwork to an elite level to where, she is comfortable being a reliable low block scorer. Because right now, she is not. So that continued development will need to continue. And then just working on her mid-range game a little bit. Being able to hit the elbow jumper and having a go-to move. And, man, teach her the sky hook at 6'7". Nobody's blocking that. She needs a go-to move to the post. And I think that will happen eventually. I think it'll just take her some time. But a switch will eventually flip for Cardosa. But the talent is there. The physicals are there. And it's just all got to click for her. And I think Coach Witherspoon and this staff will continue to work with her, continue to develop her. And she's committed. She'll be in the gym locked in. And I think we could see a big sophomore year from her. But I'm excited to continue to see her progress through the second half. I do think that right now, we look at the standings and they are 7th right now in the WNBA. If the playoffs if the playoffs started today, the season ended today, the Fever as well as the Sky would be playoff teams. So we are definitely seeing 2 teams that are ahead of schedule. And I'll definitely go in on a live later today talking about that, these 2 teams being ahead of schedule. But these are just 3 moves that I think could be very beneficial. Obviously, adding 2 players, Georgia Amore as well as Nika Mule. But if they can't get either one of them, also, just huge in developing the talent they already have, especially these rookies, man. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Holler at me. Let me know. Y'all always know I'm reading, trying to figure out what the community is feeling like, what the family feels like. That is a wrap for us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest. I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, hey, we out.